Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture.
And don't forget you can listen to the news as a podcast by simply searching for WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from. But coming up today, a big update on Sasha Banks' future.
The Usos are coming back to WWE and I'm going to tell you when.
Yet another UFC star may be heading to WWE.
And the CM Punk versus Colt Cabana lawsuit is over.
God, this is the news.
Unfortunately, we've got to start things off with some sad news. Today, we've got to report the passing of Rick Bognar, former professional wrestler known as Big Titan, known as Doomsday, also known as WWE's fake Razor Ramon. Of course, they ran that angle in 1996 with Scott Hall. Kevin Nash jumped over to WCW. Didn't last all that long. I believe the guys were off TV by January 1997, but Bognar, it seems, passed away last week. There was a Facebook update posted on the account of former WCW referee Billy Silverman by Bognar's brother, his brother Ken, who said that Rick passed away suddenly and unexpectedly on Thursday. He added that it's tough to comprehend and will never likely sink in fully. Rick left behind a great legacy and I know he will be remembered and missed by all of us. So, very sad story, 49 years old, that's no age at all. The cause of death is currently unexpected. It does no use whatsoever to speculate on that, but it's just, you hate hearing about, this is love coming through doing the news every day, but unfortunately in professional wrestling, this stuff like this happens all too often.
Yeah, like you say, it's incredibly sad news and less so nowadays, but it's horrible when you see a wrestler dying far before they should. We didn't get to see a great deal of him when he was fake Razor and what have you, but certainly from the responses I've seen online from people who've worked with him and even people who've met him and interviewed him and stuff like that, he seemed like an all-round great bloke, and obviously our thoughts go out to his family and friends.
Real shame. I believe he retired in something like 2000 and what, so he was out of the business for like a long time anyway, out of the public eye and everything. But, say what you will about that angle, people will always remember that thing, and he's got his place in history, so thoughts and prayers.
Exactly. Right, let's move on now and talk about the future of Sasha Banks, something which we actually reported probably about 3 weeks ago, this.
Yeah, we did. Thanks, Dave.
So, Sasha Banks has finally committed her future to the WWE, according to Sean Ross Sapp, of course, of Fightful. She has signed a contract extension, which seems to have cleared up any issues going forward that we would have with WWE, or that, of course, upcoming title feud with Becky Lynch.
Yeah, so more of a confirmation this rather than strictly news story, because Dave came out with it 3 weeks ago. We sat here and told you all about it, but Mr. Sapp, the ever-reliable Mr. Sapp, one of the probably the most trustworthy journalist in the game, I reckon, spoken to 4 separate sources on the matter. I believe one of them said the deal was inked around about the time Sasha came back to TV. Great stuff, good to hear. We've talked about Sasha's year at length. We won't do that here. We won't talk about the troubles before her comeback or wherever they were. The future looks bright though. As you say, match Becky Lynch, Hell in a Cell, that'll be really good. There's also another one of those four horsewomen tag team matches on this week's SmackDown as they debut on Fox. So, looks like Sasha Banks' future is looking very bright indeed.
All you have to do now is sort out the Luke Harper situation, WWE.
Yeah,
please.
That'd be nice. Stop him from shooting on people on social media. Actually, don't stop him from doing that. It's awesome.
Shoot season, as always, open.
It's never closed for business, baby. Let's speak about some other people who've been off TV for a while. That's the terrible segue, but I don't care. The Usos, they haven't been seen since the end of July. Obviously, there was that unfortunate DUI situation, I believe it was on the 25th or the 26th of July. They were on Raw the following, after that weekend, and they've been away ever since. But it looks like they're coming back. According to Wrestling Inc., these fellas, Jimmy and Jay, they are going to be on SmackDown this week. The debut on Fox. It's apparently not going to be pre-advertised, should be a surprise. Info, we're sitting here telling everyone it's happening. Yeah, maybe get that Men in Black thing out and if you want it to be an actual surprise, but it looks like they're going to be on TV. This is good. They're a great tag team, one of the most decorated in modern WWE history. Maybe my favourite tag team of the past 5 years. Can't wait to see them back.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Usos. I think, like you say, they're one of the most talented tag teams around. They've obviously had their issues away from the ring, but that should not take away from the amazing abilities they've got inside the ring. Hopefully their time away has given them pause to think about what they've done and hopefully correct any issues that they've got, because they are the perfect tag team to come back on something like SmackDown's debut on Fox and really just light up that division yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the Usos. They make everything better, so bring them in.
Brilliant. Right, let's move on and talk about another potential UFC, or I should say former UFC star, heading to WWE, heading in the footsteps of other MMA transitions. Obviously, Brock Lesnar has done both. Started off in wrestling, went to UFC Return. Matt Riddle, Shayna Baszler, the list goes on and on and on. But Cain Velasquez, who's constantly being linked with transitioning into wrestling, probably because, well, he wrestled for AAA recently, is apparently in serious talks with WWE. This is per Wrestling Observer Radio. As I mentioned, he is a former UFC fighter, former UFC heavyweight champion. He is the guy who demolished Brock Lesnar back in the day. He's also talked to AEW and New Japan, it's worth mentioning. But as I said, those appearances he had in AAA where he looked, I mean, you've got to say it, phenomenal for a big lad.
Yeah.
The obvious link, I mean, you can talk about New Japan, you can talk about AEW. The obvious thing to do, of course, is book him in WWE, because he is, you know, the ghost from Brock Lesnar's past. And judging by the looks of things, pretty damn talented in the ring as well.
Yeah, he's been very impressive in the 2 6-man tags he's had for AAA so far. I watched AAA, but I tuned in for Cain Velasquez because he's such a big attraction. As you've said, he's a former UFC champion. He's beaten all kinds of great fighters, including Brock Lesnar and guys like Junior Dos Santos. He has all the credibility in the world. With Cain, there are some concerns. He has been very injury prone over the past few years in the UFC. Missed a lot of fights, missed a lot of time, and so forth. But perhaps he, sinking into like a Brock Ronda type schedule might work out really well for him. And there's no surprise whatsoever that basically every major wrestling company wants a piece of the guy, because these MMA guys and girls, they seem to transition over to the sport really easy. And Cain's already a star. He's a huge star in Mexico, which is a market that any promotion really would want to target. So yeah, big fan of this.
And if you're unaware of Cain Velasquez and you think, oh great, another big bloke who's just going to lumber about the ring, another nickname of his is Cardio Cain.
Yeah.
He could always go for 5-round fights in the UFC. He will not struggle if he does go into wrestling full time. And I, for one, really want to see it.
I would love to see him there. And speaking of things I would love to see.
Thank God this has been sorted.
Yeah, Colt Cabana and CM Punk, they are no longer, their legal thing is done. For now. I mean, these guys have countersued each other about 700 times, it feels. But anyway, we are here. This is an article by Forbes' David Bixenspan, who reports that it was basically settled, dismissed, whatever you want to say, on Thursday. The notion to do so was filed by Punk, and it's since been confirmed by Colt's lawyer, Katie Steen, who has confirmed the settlement. So this came about obviously in the aftermath of their legal victory over WWE Dr. Chris Amann. There's quite a lot of misinformation going around about this case, but going by what Mr. Bixenspan says here, the crux of it was that basically during that battle, after Punk had apparently texted to Colt saying, I will cover all your legal fees, Cabana was dropped by their co-team. He was then forced to take on another lawyer to the tune of $200,000, and that is what he was seeking. That's what he was essentially suing over. But if you think that this is water under the bridge and these guys are just going to go back to being best mates ever again,
another podcast coming soon.
Well, looking at you know, I mean, CM Punk has been all over Twitter this morning, getting in people's mentions. There's some people here discussing the matter on Twitter, and he just casually slides in saying, why did he ask to settle then? I wanted it to go to trial, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Enjoy donating to the eventual Woe Is Me GoFundMe account. So, safe to say that
CM Punk heel turn confirmed, question mark.
He's a weird guy, isn't he? Chick Magnet Phil's a weird guy.
I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many theories out there. There's rumours of obviously him returning to WWE as some sort of, hey, isn't WWE great guy?
Yeah.
Then there's this, and then there's AEW, and what's going on?
What the hell is happening? I have a feeling that this isn't going to be CM Punk's only big headline this week. I've no idea what's going to happen or where he's going to show up, but I tell you what, I cannot wait to find out. But I really wish that him and Colt would just hug or something, man. This sucks.
Hug it out. Hug it out. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. First question today comes from everyone's favourite misfit.
Legend.
Asking a question, of course, about the CMLL wrestler Rush. Roosh. Okay, everyone's favourite misfit asks, do you think Roosh winning the Ring of Honor title will help persuade WWE to finally give Andrade a main event title run?
We want to know if a big victory for Roosh is going to get Andrade a push. Is that what we're saying? I hope so. I mean, Andrade and Roosh I think are big friends. I've seen a photo of them with their respective partners on the beach. Roosh is an absolute piece as well, by the way. Him and Andrade, what a sexy tag team that is. I hope so. I mean, I love Andrade. I think it's a very complete act with Zelina Vega. Roosh is in an interesting situation himself because him and Dragon Lee, his brother, just got fired from CMLL over the weekend, and they're two of the promotion's biggest stars. So a lot of uncertainties surrounding his future at the moment as well. But I hope it spurs them. I really do.
I think put him on Raw, give him the Universal Championship.
Give him the belt.
I realise the Fiend may have it, so that might put an issue with it. Give him the Universal Championship once we've got bored of the Fiend.
Yeah. Once the Fiend turns into a murder clown.
Right, second question today comes from AL, who says, if SmackDown is now going to be the A show, does that make the WWE title the A belt?
It's the A belt as soon as Brock Lesnar wins it, I think, yes. So, in answer, yes, on Friday, it does.
The Jam belt is the B belt, thank God. Which makes sense, because, I don't know, do bees like jam? Let us know in the comments.
I think that's honey made. Is honey jam?
Yeah, but they make that. But I thought like on their off days, do they like jam?
Well, jam comes from fruit, and honey is essentially the fruit of a bee's arsehole. So
there you go. I ate a wasp the other day. I haven't got time to tell that
Taste the
story. Bert the Hurt Burton, gives us our
legend.
final question of the day, who says, with the Raw and SmackDown sets getting a makeover, yay pyro, what wrestler needs a makeover done to their intro music?
Oh, wow.
I have a suggestion.
Go for
the
it.
Kabuki Warriors, because that merging of Asuka and Kairi Sane's music is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and I'm going to go for another similar path. The Baron Corbin King music mixed with a metal is trash as well. I don't know, it's kind of like, aside from those, most WWE theme music, I know a lot of people don't like the CFO's loops, but I do.
I haven't really got a problem with many.
They're all pretty good.
Let us know your thoughts, along with bees and jam in the comment section. Let's move on to today's, and finally, big shout out to Ross Miller, who's returned us to an old classic, the action figures from WWE. Here he is, Triple H there on the box, ready for me to zoom out and see Big Trips' face from, of course, the 90s. He should be looking peak Trips in this. Here he is. What on earth is that?
Is that Shrek? Oh no! Wow! Hold on. What's going on with his eyes? Wait, what?
$5 for one of them.
Very, very generous abs there.
Ross, go and buy one. Send it to us. We'll add it to our dodgy collection.
Yeah. What's going on with his eyes? Why?
He looks like that bloke out of that film. Anyway, let's move on.
He looks like the Robert Gibson. That's the
Rock
and Roll Express.
Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Plus, you can send us Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Hamlet. Looks like Walter.
He does. He really does. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. Right, this is it. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.